baby. Be less petty with your time. Be less petty with your mind. Be less petty with your blame. All that petty shit is lame. Be less petty with your friends. Love first. Make amends. Be less petty with your life. Be less petty with your wife. Be less petty with your mom. Be less petty with your job. Be less petty. Be less petty. Be less petty, baby. Body aches, migraine, chronic illness, anger pains. All it comes from is being petty. Hey, I'm telling you now, you don't want to do it. Nope. Cause that petty shit will have you in ruin. Social media, yep, be less petty there. Cause all them petty comments ain't gonna get you nowhere. You don't even want to.
This podcast is not a valid substitute for therapy. This is an open conversation. It is not medical advice and should not be used as such. Please seek help with a medical professional if you are in a crisis. Yo, what is up, my Less Petty pals? Welcome back to Be Less Petty Comedy Self-Help Podcast. I'm your girl, Kellye Howard, and this episode is super special one for me. Not for the reasons that y'all think, but for exactly the reasons that y'all think. We have Miss Tiffany Haddish tonight, and I'm so excited because Tiffany and I, we have a long history. And throughout that history, I can say I've learned quite a bit about myself, mainly because Tiffany has always, at least to my face, shown me nothing but love, kindness, and support, even when I wasn't doing the same for her. I remember when we first met back in LA at her apartment in like 2006 or 7, and me having this standoffish stank on my face. And she just smiled at me and was like, girl, you gonna be all right? And I like instantly softened. And I've seen her do this time and time again for so many people. This kind of self-love that she carries, not being pushed one way or another by someone else's bad juju or aggressive energy. So this is super empowering when done genuinely, and it can literally change worlds. Be Less Petty was created out of my knowing that I was a petty person. I focused a lot of my time, space, and energy on the things that were small, menial, and of no importance in the grand scheme of things. It occurred in my professional life, how I drove my car, in my friendships, in my parenting style. Like my entire life was built on pettiness. And the truth is, there's no way to separate the two. You can't be petty on the one hand and not expect to live a petty, small-minded life. So I started to look at the areas of my life where I was being most petty, and it was my relationships, mainly the relationship I had with myself. And Tiffany has had a huge impact on the growth in that area. So I am very excited about this conversation. She's one of the least petty people I know when it comes to her life. She follows what feels good. And that's why I love her. And that's why she's one of the biggest inspirations. And that's why I had to have her here today to talk about this relationship conversation and how our relationships can retract from or add to our mental health wellness. So without further ado, let's get this show started. But before we do, I have to bring in the yin to my yang for this season, primary therapist, Alexandra Garcia. Hey, girl.
Hey.
How are you?
I like your little intro.
Did you?
Yeah.
No. For the first time in this podcast, I actually wrote out an intro. Normally I just go off and I was like, nah, Kellye, you want to say something of importance. Actually write this out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. How was your week?
Well, it's Monday. Mondays feel like we're 5 days in. So it was a little crazy. Mm-hmm. Good weekend though. Goes by too fast. So
really?
Yeah.
So did you have any petty behaviors this week that we should talk about?
I did. So let's talk about it. So I have a good childhood friend who obviously I've known for many, many years. And she is getting married this year. She was supposed to get married last year, all the pandemic kind of drama. And she was having her bridal shower in the suburbs this past weekend. And I was stretched really thin and couldn't make it. So I kind of changed my RSVP on the link on her website, if you were, the email, but I didn't reach out to her personally and tell her I wasn't going. And when I was, going online saying I couldn't go like virtually, I knew I should like send her a message or pick up the phone. And I did it because I didn't want to face the music to that. And I just felt bad. I felt really guilty. And then she texted me today and was like, hey, are you still coming to the wedding? I didn't see you this weekend. And I felt crappy. So when I'm stretched thin, I don't communicate enough. So I feel really bad. And that was petty.
Now you know me. I'm finna come at your petty story. How did that affect you in a petty way? Why was that petty?
It was petty because it was so unpersonable. And as I'm sitting on my couch, I had a lot to do that day. And I went and I un-RSVP'd. I should have just texted her. So I was thinking about it that day and the next day. And I was just carrying that guilt. Like, here I am, Miss Therapist, communicating.
So you were ruminating on the fact that you did. I know a lot about rumination, girl. I be ruminating on a whole bunch of shit. That'd be my problem. That's why I created Be Less Petty. I was a little petty this week too. And my pettiness actually involved you.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I lied.
Okay.
I lied. I sent you an email. Remember, I wanted you to
thought it was, but I was like, that's okay, whatever.
I wanted you to look over my thing that I wrote up for this show. And I sent you an email, but the email that I sent you had my questions, my rapid fire questions in it. Yeah. And I didn't want you to open it. So I told you it was spam.
Yeah.
And that you would get a virus if you opened it.
Right. I thought it was just like your sex tape with your husband or something. No. I was like, that's okay. Wrong file. I will not open it.
Girl, if you know my husband, we ain't having sex, girl. Shit.
See, and that was petty. See,
that was petty.
You gotta do that.
That was definitely petty. It's bad too. I've been trying to work on it. I got me a yoni egg. I've been trying to up my sexual energy.
No, when I saw that email, I was like, don't open this. You're going to get a virus. I'm like, I ain't going to get no virus. You just pride yourself on getting a new Mac, all the things. But I was like, that's fine. I don't have time to open it.
That's good. It just had my questions in it. And I didn't want you to
What do you think? I was going to steal your questions?
So I just didn't want you to know the questions. I didn't want you to know the questions beforehand because that's the fun of the whole game is us going back and forth with questions you don't know the answer to. So I had to lie about it. I was also petty with my dad. I wasn't really petty. I just had to check him real quick because my dad is old school ignorance. You know what I'm saying? And he messaged me. He saw the flyer that Tiffany was going to be on the show. And I usually try to be mindful of not checking my dad. He said a lot of ignorant shit. And I just be like, I'm going to just let it go. But this time I didn't let it go for whatever reason. And he messaged me and was like, oh, I saw Tiffany's going to be on your show. Let her know that she got some chicken legs. And I was like, why would I say that? I said, I'm not going to tell her she got chicken legs. That's mean. And then he was like, that's just my old school way of saying she got nice legs. You know, we compliment through whatever, I don't even know what the message said, but I was like, no, why wouldn't you just say
she has nice
legs? Like, why would you? And so then I just stopped talking to him and I didn't text message him back for 2 days.
Oh, he had a little... it's like in 5th grade when someone liked you, they would put
right. Yeah. It's like, how old are you, sir? You're gonna be 70. What the hell? Just tell her she got nice legs.
His ways, clearly.
Well, speaking of said nice legs, we have them in our green room right now. So I am really, really excited to bring her into the chat. You guys, I don't even know where to begin with credits. You've seen her everywhere. She's doing everything. I am so amazed by her in so many ways. My mother is amazed by her. She always tells me everybody is amazed by her. I want y'all to start snapping, clapping, loving, giving all the energy you can right now for a long term. Those ain't the words that's coming out. Give it up for Tiffany Haddish. I'm like, long term.
Tell your daddy, I know what he mean by them chicken legs. You know what?
I'm gonna wait for a response.
Because your daddy wants to taste my legs.
Girl.
That's what that means. I know what it means.
I know what it means too.
You did? See, I take that as a diss. Like chicken legs, like they're too skinny. Like what you trying to say about my legs?
First of all, I'm in Hollywood. If my legs are too skinny, thank you.
You right. You're right.
In Hollywood. And I am built like a full-blown black woman. So if he like these legs, I'm thinking delicious. The fact that he been talking about my legs, as long as he not like, dang, she got fleas, them legs got a lot of marks on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to look at my legs. If he like, dang, she got them spiky legs, like I'm be feeling some type of way. But yeah, chicken leg, any animal. You compare me to any animal that run fast. I'm with that.
You good with that? Her and these cheetah legs.
Right. Come watch this chicken, baby.
That's so funny. Yeah, he definitely was on some bullshit, and I just stopped talking to him. I was like, I can't. My dad is the conspiratorial, like he's the guy that say the most off the wall shit that you be like, okay,
gotta go.
I just gotta block you for a day or two.
Yeah, see, and then I'll probably be talking to your daddy for hours, like, and what?
Right.
Come on, brother. One more thing. Oh, you think that's real? You think that's real?
Feeding into
you know what? That is the ability you have to deal with people in their ignorance. Meet them where they are.
Yeah, you gotta meet them where they're at. You know, and you don't gotta go all the way to their level. You be there though.
Now you know that
if level too low, then I'll be right here and I'll be talking to you from here. I'm never gonna talk to you from here. I remember the first time we met too. Oh, girl, you was like, my man keeps saying that he like you. Remember that?
Oh yes, girl.
You can tell me that.
I was very mad about that. That was Mark. I remember exactly who that was. And because I had a picture of yours and he wanted me to fucking get it signed. I'm like, I'm not having her sign this for you. Like, this is my peer. You basically telling me that if we break up, nigga, you finna try to hit that.
Oh gosh, you're funny.
I was mad.
You was lit. I was like, girl, I don't want him. I don't even know what he looked like. I'm good. I just met you. Why you don't like me?
I did. Because my man likes you, so therefore you and I. She was like, "You gonna be okay."
I'm like, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. We gonna be friends. I can see you. I see your soul. We gonna be all right. And look, here we are today. You even worked that. Remember when you was working at Sprint?
I do.
And you helped me get into that nigga phone. Remember that? That was like right after we met. Remember that?
I forgot all about that. That's fucking hilarious.
Let me tell you, that dude just reached out to me talking about he want to have some babies. Why he done just had a baby with another bitch. I said, now he know he crazy.
Oh,
and then I told him the crazy shit that I did to get into his world.
Oh my God. I forgot all about that shit, girl. I gotta stop. You know what? You introduced me. You got me back smoking weed, and I gotta stop that shit because I can't remember shit. Like my memory don't function the way yours do.
See, this is the thing with memory. You only remember what you care about. Period. If you think about it. If you don't care about it, you don't remember it. If you care, you'll never forget. And that's why people remember pain so much, because it make them feel so like it make you feel like and you care about how bad you feel, so you never forget that shit. But you need to start focusing on what's good. Focus on that memory, like the good stuff. Care about that. Care about what make you feel good, and then you'll have better memories and you'll remember more. It's all about how you.
My intro, I said she always follow what feel good. She done been this way since I've known her. Like she be like, oh, okay, whatever, and just be like,
okay, I'm on a stalker mission. It feels right. It feels right to stalk this nigga. Come on, Kellye, I'll give you $100 getting niggas. So help me get the passcode. Come on now.
Oh my gosh,
let's just change his password on there, and then I can get in there, and then I can
remember that. That's hilarious. Oh my God. I could have lost my job over you.
But you didn't know. Don't worry, I'm praying on it. We've been watching The Secret. We got this. We got
watching The Secret.
We was watching The Secret together and everything, remember?
I do remember that. That's when it first came out. We were like geeking on that shit. We had that little bitty ass thin book that didn't really tell us shit at all. It was like 5 pages of like, this how you manifest. And that's not even really how you manifest. It was so basic.
It was the most basic of basics. And it was like, but we was working together as we had a little clique, a little team. We was trying to make things happen.
We were.
That's what it was. You know, and then I was just super thirsty. I started getting all the books. Anything that was talking about manifesting, or asking it is given, anything that talked about you can have it your way, whatever.
Abraham Hicks.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I had all the Abraham Hicks, but I was on that talking book world. I used to have the tapes. I used to get the talking book, the audio tapes, the audio books on tape.
The talking books.
We driving to the comedy shows, put the tape in, and we just lit. Like, yeah, this show gonna be good. I'm gonna manifest this success and prosperity, abundance. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, you have.
Yeah.
You did it. You did it. You know, it's so funny. I can't remember who. I was just talking to somebody recently about this. I said, you know, I look at some of the people that I like came up with that are like really doing the shit, right? And I was like, oh damn, so y'all was for real. So we was doing this for real. Like me, I'm just out here like doing comedy. Like, I don't know what the fuck. I'm just out here doing it. Not really with a plan. And then I'm seeing like people just, and I'm like, oh shit, this was like a plan. This was a manifestation plan.
Remember, okay, me and Rel teamed up. We was like, we would be writing out goals, calling each other. Okay, what you trying to do? I'm about to audition for this. I'm gonna audition for that. Okay, I'm gonna talk to this person about you auditioning for this. Okay, and I'm gonna talk to this person for you about this. Like, it was always like, because I used to sit back and watch how the white people work. And I'm like, we got to work like that. We got to look out for each other. We got to lift each other. We got to pull each other up. If you get this thing, you got to put this person on. Like, try to, like, it was like a synergy. We got to work together. Like, that's the only way it's going to work.
Mm-hmm. So it's so funny. That's why I have you on this particular, did you notice what this particular episode is talking about?
Hell no. I just came because you had to come through. I'm here for you. I'm literally here for you because I love you. You know,
this conversation.
He was like, I got a show. It's called Be Less Petty. I said, oh, yes, bitch, we got to do this. Because I remember when he was hella petty. I'll be like, Kellye, knock it off. Let that shit go.
It's so hard. It's so hard.
He don't make you shit. Let it go. What you doing today? Fuck them. What you got going?
Yes. I came out the gate petty. You knew that when I was like, so my man trying to fuck you and I got a problem with you. Out the gate.
I was like, I don't know your nigga. Don't want him. It's nice to meet you though.
That's so funny. Now, you know what? We need to talk a little bit about this because I feel like you have such a natural zest for life. But you have such a hardship of a story, you know, and you and I, we've communicated about my story. We know how much shit I done been through. Like, how does one, especially Black women, right? There's a lot of Black women out here that is struggling with their own shit. How does one find that zest for life and that enjoyment for everything?
First of all, let's break down shit. Okay. Shit is necessary. Okay.
It is.
This is how you grow. Okay, if you don't personally shit, you're gonna die. Okay, if you got shit to deal with, and when you put the shit in the right place, and if some seeds in that shit, things grow. So I always look at all my disasters as an opportunity to grow. Like, and I got a lot of disasters. I still have them all the time. People are like, you so lucky, your life is so awesome. I'll be like, bitch, let's trade. I'll trade you any day. Anytime, come get in these shoes. You're gonna be like, you get in them, you're gonna be thinking it's all good, and then them up, it hit.
I see how hard you work. I be looking at your shoes and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. I want some smaller shoes. Just a little bit.
When you were young, did you still have that mentality like shit is gonna grow into something positive? Like when you were in the foster care system, did you still have that, or did that take time? Like
I was in that foster care system. I was just thinking, okay, so like basically at that point, my whole philosophy in life was Who Framed Roger Rabbit? If I make these people laugh, if I'm good enough, they'll do nice things for me. They'll be nice to me. People who are not nice, but I just kept thinking, well, I wasn't funny enough. I didn't make them feel good enough. I wasn't, I wasn't enough. It was always on me. And in reality, I mean, I was kind of ahead of my time because all the shit is on you. It really is. Even though I was a kid and I have no control over a lot of things, which as an adult, I don't have a whole lot of control on a lot of things, but how I look at it, I have control over. right? How I process it, how I deal with it. I have a lot of control over that. And when you handle things and process them in a way that's mature and coming from a place of joy, well, then people see that, and you start to attract more people like that. People want to learn how to do that. But I was just always on the because I was around so many negative, mad, angry people, hurt people, that is just like, well, how can I be the opposite of that? Because I'm watching it and it ain't doing well for them. It's not working. Nothing's panning out. You can't keep a man. You can't keep a house. You can't keep a car. You can't keep nothing. Because you always mad. You always feel like everybody want my shit. Like everybody, maybe don't nobody want shit you got. But because you keep saying it, well, they gonna take it. Because you're giving it away. Right?
You manifest in that reality.
Exactly. Whatever you keep on running that mouth, whatever that whatever's on the record, on the audio play all the time, that's what it's gonna be. That's your existence. Those thoughts you be having, that's what you painting. That's the world you paint. You are artist. Every single person is a fucking artist. Whether they know how to paint, sew, anything, you are an artist of your life. Yep. And your words and your thoughts paint your existence. And if your shit is fucked up, that's because you decided it was.
You decided it was. Yeah.
So things like really bad things be happening. And Kellye, you done been with me through a lot of the stuff. But I just try to find what's the good in this. What am I learning? What do I not do again? It hurts. It hurts. But what's the funny in this thing? How can I just relate to somebody else? What am I learning not to do this shit again? Do I have the energy to hate this motherfucker for the rest of my life?
Mm-hmm.
No. Well, it's the two people that can always get the hate from Haddish. They always gonna get the hate from Haddish. There's two people on this planet that's always gonna get the motherfucking hate from me. Everybody else can just kiss my ass and move on with their shit because I'm moving on with mine.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. This episode's topic is about toxic relationships. That's what it's about. Yeah. I felt like you were a good person to have that conversation with, but not for the reason that you think, not because I saw you go through some toxic shit with people and I've seen that, but more so because, and this is a hard admission for me, but you already know. I remember at the moment it happened, I was on the phone. Remember we were talking about, do you remember that time I was telling you I was getting a reading?
Yes.
From that lady?
Mm-hmm.
And then I got on the phone with you. You was like, what'd she say? And I was telling you what I was talking to her about. So I got this reading from this lady and I was trying to heal myself. And I told her that I was struggling with Tiffany's success. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know if Tiffany purposefully did this or if the phone just dropped, but we got disconnected.
I didn't do that on purpose because I wanted to hear why you were struggling.
Yeah, we got disconnected. And then you was like, I'm gonna call you back. And you was like, I'm on set. I'm gonna call you back. And I was like, all right. And then I don't think you called me back or we didn't get a chance to call. And from that moment, right, I took that and just started ruminating on the fact that I couldn't be happy for you and that I couldn't be happy for other women in my life either. You know what I'm saying? Like their success. And that really catapulted this whole thing, right? With toxic relationships, be less petty, all of that. Because I started to really see how I was manifesting these toxic relationships because I didn't have the capacity to be happy for women that were successful in my life. And then I was like, well, why is that? And it led me down this road of different therapies from ayahuasca to EMDR to hypnosis to all types of shit. And then I was like, oh shit, Kellye, you don't like yourself, bitch. That's why. You don't like who you are. You have not created a life worth loving. And therefore, you're hating on all the people around you that is creating a life worth loving. And
you can't create the life you want because you're so busy hating on everybody else. So your shit is garbage.
Yeah.
All you put out is the hate.
Yep. And it was like it was an explosive realization for me. But I'm so thankful because now I'm constantly making connections with women. You know what I'm saying? Like even me and Alex, we've met, years before, and we were kind of in the same circle, but just out of nowhere this year, we got really tight. But I know that has more to do with me letting go of like this idea that I'm somehow up against these women, and I got to prove that I'm better than them. I'm like, no, this ain't got shit to do with them. Do I like who I am or not?
Right.
And then too, you didn't have
masculine male energy. You was operating out of a masculine male energy place, like in trying to be in competition with people.
But that was a protection.
I almost hung up on you. I almost hung up this thing. That's what the girl from ayahuasca. Remember, I told you the shaman was like, you have an extreme masculine energy. She was like, why are you denying your divine feminine? And I was like, bitch, I ain't denying my divine feminine.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You're like, I'm gonna fix this sink. I'm laying down the concrete. I'm doing this drywall right now. I'm like, oh my God,
Hold on. Wait, so let's go back. So Tiffany, you remember this conversation and you knew that she was kind of being petty about you. How did you feel about it? You were just like, she gonna be okay. You didn't take it personally.
No, I didn't take it personal because it's her thing, right? So she's telling me, and I'm like, okay, but wow, surprise, brand new news. Not new news to me because her behavior, the things she would say, I already knew it, but I just knew she had growing up to do, right? Yeah. And I knew that she had to start, and I would tell her that all the time. It was never me, like I never hid how I felt about anything with Kellye. I was probably the most honest, genuine person with Kellye. Like, Kellye, get the fuck out your feelings with that bullshit. You know I love you. You know, girl, if you don't knock it off, you be like, why they won't pick me? Why they won't pick? I'm like, why do you want them to pick you? Why do you want to be held down to a contract where somebody gonna act like they give a fuck about you, but they don't? Like, you need somebody to care. You want people to care. That's what you want. Yeah. That's what you're saying without saying it. And you get mad when you think everybody's caring about everybody else but you. But you need to care about you, Kellye. How do you care about Kellye? I kept on saying that. But Kellye, what about you? What are you happy that you're doing? What makes you feel good? You know, it was always that conversation about me. Like, she would be coming at me and I would be turning it right back to her. What is that? How does that make you feel about you? What do you think you could do better? What are you doing to make it better? Like, and then she would get so mad. Like, I
don't want to hear that shit. What are they?
Like, what kind of shit is that to me, man? Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit, man. These niggas is haters.
I think that's a great segue. I think that's a great segue into the topic, right? Like, what does that say about her, right? Because she was the one that was all about her and her energy, right? And if you think about the toxic, like the topic of toxic relationships, right? When someone is nasty to you, it's about them. It's not about us. It is
always.
But it's hard, especially when it's people that we love. We start to believe it, or we can, right? Especially if it's a long-term relationship, whatever the case is. But I think that's just an important piece when we talk about toxic relationships. Like, that is about them and their ugliness, or just where they are, not ugliness, but where they are in their space and their journey.
Let me tell you something. I recently had someone who was my friend since 2008. And then I had them working for me, right? And then I didn't have them working for me. And that's not because of my choice. That was more so their choice, right? And the actions that they took. Do I dislike them? No. Do I love them? Very much so. If they call me to show up somewhere, I'm there. If I don't have to be at work, I'm there. They say, hey, I want to sit down and talk to you at this time, at this day. Okay, cool. Bet. I block it off. Here I come. I show up. It was like an intervention. I was like, is this an intervention? Am I alcoholic? They had other friends there. And then they commenced to telling me how mean, Tiffany, you so mean and hateful. And they were talking about shit that happened 2 years ago. They was talking about shit that happened 2 years ago. And everything they were saying, right? I had to either apologize for, or they misinterpreted what was happening, right? But they held on to it for 2 years. And what it all boiled down to, right? And the relationship did get damaged, but I didn't realize the relationship was damaged. Okay, I'm buying them things for their birthday, setting them up for all kind of cool stuff. I didn't realize the relationship was that damaged. until they started pouring their heart out and telling me all this stuff. And really, it was all about, and I said, well, did I apologize? I'm so sorry. I didn't know that you felt that way, right? And they're like, well, yeah, you apologized, but that still didn't take away the feelings that I had. And it didn't take away this. So everything was about their feelings. It was about them. And what it all boiled down to is, I still have a relationship with somebody that they love very much, that they want to be in a relationship with too, but they messed that relationship up with lies and deceit, right? Mm. And so that person doesn't want to be their friend anymore. So they mad at me because I'm still friends with that person, but they don't want to say, Tiffany, stop being friends with them because it hurts me because I want to be friends with them too. That's what they need to be saying.
Right.
And it's like, just stick to the facts. Just say what you feel. Just say what you mean.
Yeah, because if I was that mean person that they trying to describe me to be, well, why would you work with me? Why would you jump? Why are you working with my friend? Why are you even the jobs that you're taking and doing is because of the relationships that I built. And when they call me and ask me about you, I say, that person's amazing. They're awesome. You should get them. They're great. I'm never shitting on your reputation, but no, you said I got drunk at something. Bitch, so do I. I get drunk all the time. The fuck? That don't mean you ain't got talent. That don't mean you ain't got talent. That don't mean you're not qualified to do the job.
Right.
Period.
You know, it is so funny too, because that's really when I talk about how much growth I've had, it's not because you're Tiffany Haddish, right? You're Tiffany Haddish that everybody knows today. That's not why. My growth with you started before you was Tiffany Haddish that everybody knows today, because
Zero Metro Tiffany Haddish. Pick your ass up from the airport.
Right. No, I was a coin collection Tiffany Haddish that only got her nails done if she had enough change.
Yes.
Remember that? Yes. You never got your nails done unless you had enough change.
Yes. I would get my nails done with all quarters, dimes, nickels, pennies, all the shit. Like, change.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
All change. But what I realized though is that I had to really look at how you never gave me back the energy that I was trying to give you. Like, I remember I was on the phone with I don't know where we were. I was like somewhere with Mike, and I was on the phone with you, and you was like, girl, you better love that man, girl. You better. And she just always would like encourage me to do better in my marriage for whatever fucking reason. She was just always like, you better love that man. You better take good care of him. And I'm like, you barely met Mike. Like, how do you fucking know how much? And she was
how Mike looked at you though. I saw how he looked at you.
Yeah, and that's what made me.
It's hard to get a man to look at you like that. He didn't look at you like you was a piece of meat. He didn't look at you like you was just some beautiful ass woman. He looked at you like you was a goddess. Like, and you was somebody he was gonna take care of and nurture and do whatever for, no matter what. That's why I'm like, look, take care of that nigga because he want to take care of you.
Right.
Now, he not a nigga. Still, take care of him because he want to take care of you. You can see it. You just want to love on you and just fill you up with just all the goodness. And I'm like, that's so hard to find.
That is. It really is. And I had to start looking at my relationship with him because of my toxicity around other people. And I had to really get honest with myself. I was like, Kellye, what the fuck? Then I realized I was using a lot of residual habits, things that I had grown up doing, that I had seen being done, that I thought I needed to replicate for whatever reason. And I was like, that don't feel good though. That doesn't feel good. Why am I still doing this? And so realizing that I'm giving off this energy that people are not giving back to me, it must be me.
Right.
I must gotta look. And then when we would get off the phone, Tiff would always say, Kellye, you know you're a good person, right? As if I needed to hear that. Like, I'd be like, bitch, I know, but really I didn't, because I was like, why would she say that, right? But just all of those things really made me look at myself. And that's what it's about. Like, I don't give a fuck what beef I got with anybody. I don't give a shit if they punch my kid in the face, right? As mad as that's gonna make me, and as reactive as I might be, them punching my kid in the face stemmed from some shit that's going on inside of them. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about my kid. It was about them. And just looking at life like that has really opened up a myriad of growth opportunities in these very hectic, petty fucking situations.
Right.
So yes, let's talk about toxic relationships.
I feel like we should define our terms right now. We're all on the same page.
Yeah, we're all on the same page. What is a toxic? For you guys that's in the comments, do you know what a toxic relation is? Before I even put this up, I want to know comments. What do you think a toxic relationship is? Can we get some feedback on that?
I feel like a toxic relationship.
Yeah. What do you think a toxic relationship is?
Well, there's so many different variables in toxic relationships, because it could be a relationship where you're always trying to do for the other person and they're not ever trying to do for you. That's toxic. It could be always anytime you guys are getting on the phone together or in each other's presence, you're always talking bad about other people. That's toxic. This to me is the most toxic, and I can't stand it, is when I can stand it, but I'll just be like, when it's like somebody who's always shitting on everything, like nothing is good. Nothing is good.
That's hard to be around. That's hard.
Nothing.
And then it's like, well, why are you friends with me? Why do you even call me? Nothing I do is good enough. Nothing this person's doing. Nothing. Like, they will complain about water, like fresh, delicious water. They complain about
Yeah, that's rough.
Or somebody who's always trying to control you too. Trying to keep you in one place, like never want to see you excel, always talking you down. Like, while you trying to like go up to the next level, they talk you down, like make you feel insecure about your goals and things. That's toxic.
And that's such a fucking habit. That's such a habit because they themselves are fearful. They don't think that they can achieve greatness, and so they shit on other people trying to achieve greatness. Like, you can't do that. How you gonna figure that out? You know, and then you start throwing all the whys you can't. Yeah.
You used to do that.
I know. I know.
We're gonna do that. You're like, we can't do that. We ain't gonna be able to do that. I'm like, yes, we can. We can do anything we want. It's like, don't even talk like that. I'll be like, don't even talk like that on the phone with me. Anything we say we could do it. It's possible. We just got to figure it out. We got to meet the right people. That's it. Like, girl, you're crazy.
So someone said they define toxic relationships. I wonder if that was my girl, Lorena, feeling like just drained after like interaction with them. I would totally agree with that. Like, if your energy feels off, like repeatedly after being with someone, probably something going on there.
That's a vampire. You with a fucking vampire at that. That's a vampire. And I know a lot.
Faith, that's my daughter.
Oh, hey, Faith.
A relationship where the intentions aren't mutual for the relationship. Absolutely. I'm glad you know that early, girl.
You must have Googled that.
or I'm her mom.
Yeah, I know. She's been learning from her mom. Look, I'm like, because I don't know. I just decided from my experience. Does it feel good? If the relationship don't feel good, when I hear that person's voice, if I think of them, I don't get a good feeling, then it's toxic.
Yeah.
And the others' insecurities interfere with your life. Yes.
Ooh, projection. And someone else said they were married and the other person was trying to be single, so they wanted their cake and eat it too. All of that.
So a lot of infidelity and shit like that, that's definitely toxic. Or unless y'all agree that the marriage is open. If y'all haven't agreed upon that, then something got to change. We're gonna put up
I can't agree on nothing like that. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna become toxic. He's like, let's be open. Let's be single. Let's not be together, because I'm gonna tell you right now, this ain't gonna work for me. Maybe we could be roommates. Nope, I ain't gonna be roommates with you either, nigga. Because if I see another bitch coming here, I'm fucking their ass up. So I can't do it.
You're not an open relationship kind of girl.
No, unless he turned gay. Now, if he turned gay and he getting dick like I'm getting dick, then cool. We good. We good. We can be open. We can stay in the same house. If I can hit that dick too, like, it's all good.
Y'all sharing dick?
Otherwise, I'm good.
I tell Mike all the time that we could do an open relationship. I don't know if I would necessarily be comfortable with that, but it's mainly because we don't have enough sex and I feel bad about it. And I don't be like, I have no sex desire. So I'd be like, you can be in an open relationship.
Start eating some sea moss, girl. You better get some sea moss in your system.
Oh, that increases it?
Yes. Put a little sea moss in your smoothie.
Okay. Mike might be getting him some coach.
There you go.
Okay, you need it. At least let them eat it.
Ooh.
Oh, I do let them do that. I do let them do that.
Okay.
What's the definition?
The actual definition of toxic relationship.
Any relationship between
yeah, read that, Tiff.
Any relationship between people who don't support each other, where there's conflict and one seeks to undermine the other, where there's competition, where there's disrespect and a lack of cohesiveness. That's by Dr. Lillian Glass, 1995.
She wrote a book called Toxic Person, I think, is the name of that book. And that's the definition. And I 110% agree with that. I'm a recovering toxic person myself.
Good. Competitiveness, a little competition is good.
Really?
But not when you're trying to like outshow your partner. I think
no. Only in spades. And then that's it.
Right.
Only in what?
Spades.
In spades.
I'm here for that.
Here, my thing with this, I feel when it comes to I think that competition can get unhealthy. It's like that fine line. You know, I'm gonna use it in an example of smoking weed.
Okay. I understand.
All her examples.
It's like all my examples are because of weed. It's like that fine line where you like, I'm not smoking too much, but then you waking up every day and you smoking all day, but you like, but I'm productive. I'm not addicted. I'm productive. And you like, but then you still smoking every day, all day and coughing up lungs. Like, it's the same thing. Sometimes I feel like competition in relationships can lead to, it can be an unhealthiness. I don't know. I think competition with myself is smart. That's where I have to stay, just because I have residual haterism in me and I can't be out here competing with people on purpose and shit.
I know me now. I know me enough to know.
Right. Like, I can't compete. I just really try to like stay in my own lane because I don't know. Who have you competed with that have made you more successful? Who do you feel like you've been?
I mean, I don't compete when it comes to business. There's no competition in business.
Okay.
Like, I've done a couple of those like competition shows. I hate those shows because it's like it's in the eye of the beholder, right? It's in the eye of the listener, the ear of the listener. Like, what's funny, what's not funny. So I don't like competition in business. I don't like it like, even though it's very competitive, I don't operate from that place. I operate from, I'm here to provide a service and I'm going to provide the best service possible. You can get with it or you're not, and that's okay. You know, somebody's going to, there's a lot of outlets. Now, when it comes to spades, I'm going to whoop that ass.
Well, we all got to be like that on spades. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is.
I'm going to beat that ass. And if we play Monopoly, I'm
Monopoly's too long. I'd be like, I give up. I can't.
I got time for it. If you playing it, I got time for it, and I will play you out. I will take your houses and your hotel.
Any game, I'm definitely competitive in. If that's the competitive nature you're talking about, absolutely. Like,
I get competitive in the games because it's a game.
It's no point.
It's a game.
Yeah.
And that's where I like in running, you know, we're doing a little race or something like that. Or let's hope we can get up the mountain the fastest. Like in that, I'll compete with you. But otherwise,
chairs with Faith, she'll tell you too if she comment. And I pushed her ass right up out that chair. Like I pushed her, and she was like 8. And I was like, I don't give a fuck, like move it. Airman for themselves.
Me too. Ooh, don't go to a baby shower with me and there's a game going.
I hate those games, like the baby shower games and the router shower games. I'm like, can I just not? I'm just here.
Before I go, I'm on Facebook trying to get all the information. I go back to the MySpace page. You understand me? I'm getting everything I can on the bride, everything I can on the mama, on the groom. And I'm trying to learn everything I can. Are we doing whatever we Scrabble, whatever we doing? Are we playing that game? My favorite is the clothespin game. You know the clothespin one? Where they put the clothespin on and you can't cross your legs. Right? No. If you cross your legs or cross your arms, somebody take your clothespin.
Yeah, I have seen that, and they can take your clothespin.
Yeah. Now I'm all about that. I be staring everybody down, looking at them. You know, oh, you're not sitting like a lady. They cross their legs. Thank you.
Thank you. Challenging each other is good. Competing is not. Push, be aggressive, but aim high. And once you feel that saltiness, it's a wrap. That's so true. That saltiness, when that gets in your tape, that mouth.
Right.
Now I will stop playing. If I start seeing somebody getting like very like they're getting very mean and aggressive about everything, then I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm not playing no more. I'll stop because I realize they're not a good sport. Some people ain't good sport.
You gotta be a good sport.
Yeah.
Now that's all fun and games. We talk about competing in games and stuff like that. But I feel like when I'm thinking about like a toxic relationship, like I want to talk a little bit about, you know, you're in a very happy relationship now, Tiffany. That's very public. I'm very happy for you.
Happy some days it ain't. It's a relationship.
Yeah, oh, for sure. But you know, it's good though. It's not toxic.
It's the healthiest relationship I ever been in. It's the healthiest. And we definitely not in competition with each other. And he's definitely not trying to stifle my glow, which I'm used to.
But I was going to say, but you've been in toxic relationships. So I want to talk a little bit about that because I was around for a little bit of that, you know, or most of it actually, of that particular.
He was there.
Yeah, I was in the house with that shit actually. In fact,
he was. He witnessed it. Yeah.
But you still never. What I've realized though is even in the process of going through that, you never really showed the side of like hate or anger or, you know what I mean? Like you were hurt and you could see that, but you still maintained a level of, I can get through this. Where did that come from? Or how did you learn to maneuver that way?
Look, it came from the system. It came from being in the system. You know, you could be angry and you could have hate, but who does that help? And how does that get you anywhere? But you can be hurt, right? And you always heal from hurt. But if you sit up and be angry all the goddamn time, that does not help you at all. That does not get your point across. Like I will be angry for 15 minutes, maybe an hour, fuck it, half a day. And that's it because it doesn't get anything done. It doesn't get me where I want to go. Like, and if people see me angry, they're like, oh, she's an angry Black woman. Or they be like, okay, yeah, there's a reason for you to be angry about that. And if they fix it, great. If they can't fix it, fuck it. I'm hurt over it for a little bit and it's time to move on. Because, I mean, if you're going to be angry all the time, you are not ever going to be happy. And you're going to have health issues in the long run. And that person that you're angry at doesn't give a fuck. What they eat don't make you shit. So it don't matter. What I eat, all this anger I got is not determining when they eat, or they don't even care most of the time. They fucked you over because they don't care. They
Tiffany,
doing what they.
How did you heal afterwards? How did you I definitely hear that sentiment of like not holding on to it, because holding grudges and being angry only affects you, right? But how did you just like lean into work and be super productive, or what was your like process?
I leaned into me. I leaned into what makes me feel good. Like what if I'm feeling hurt like this, what's the thing that's gonna make me not feel hurt? Is it my success? Is it my family? Is it running? Is it dancing? Is it like, what is it that's gonna make me feel good? And I ultimately realized, because I used to try to get revenge on niggas, all this shit. I used to try to do all that dumb shit. And what I realized is, my success makes me feel good and makes them feel like shit. Yeah. So that's what I work on.
Right.
Now, I'm wondering, because we have to realize about when we're in relationships like that, toxic relationships, we have to identify something about ourselves that are keeping us in that relationship. So what did you identify about Tiffany that said, oh shit, look what I'm allowing myself to do? Or what brokenness did you find that you needed to fix, or what?
Shit, I'm still working on it. I mean, I think I did that because like I came from a long line of toxic people, and I thought that was normal, and I thought that was okay. And I felt like if I didn't have a sense of like a little sense of fear and discomfort, like I don't know how to function necessarily, right? Because that's where I always function at. Because it was always how can I make this person feel joy? How can I make this person happy? Even though they're always angry, they're always mad, they always it seem like they're gonna hit me or hurt me. But if I make them laugh, if I make them this, then another day I'm not getting hurt. Like I was just basically replaying the relationship with my mother from my childhood over and over. She was very mean to me, very nasty, very violent towards me, very judgmental, very like a whole lot of not great things. But that was love.
Yeah.
That was love.
Yeah.
I want to hold on to that for a second. I think, Tiffany, what you just described, and I'm going to speak to women right now because a lot of the conversation I've had have been with women, is that things from our childhood, right? Even the chaos is normal to us. And then when we become adults, we gravitate towards the red flags because that's normal to us. Mm-hmm. And then when we're in it, we're so hard on ourselves. Like, what the heck, Alex? Like, why'd you do this again? Like, you know better logically, but everything internally made you go to that person. And I know I have done it. I know some of my close friends have done it and are going through it. And I just want us to like give ourselves some grace in that, because we just like blame ourselves. And there needs to be some healing there.
It's bad programming. It's bad programming. Our brains are computers, right? We program these things every day. What you watch, what you talk about, what you think about, what you listen to, you're programming it. So all those childhood years, this is a program. This is the fallback program. This is the what you fall into program. You have to deprogram. You have to remove that program from your freaking database and replace it with something better. And that's basically when I met Kellye, that's what I was in the process of doing, trying to replace the programming, trying to replace the thing. And then I was still operating on that old fucking system with new programming on top of it. And it was really fucked up. And I've been operating on that shit for years. Kellye, I know you for what, 10, 15 years? For years I was operating on it. Yeah. And so like it still took me, like after that divorce and all that, I had to remove a lot of that shit that my mom had put in there and figure out what's good to keep and what's not good to keep, because there was some jewels in there that have helped me handle this success. Like that verbal abuse that she used to give me, it's got me so strong. They can talk shit about me all day on the internet. It doesn't bother me until it starts getting the death threats. The death threats is what fucks with me. That makes me feel some kind of way, because that makes the hood bitch come up like, let me get my razor blade, let me carry my gun with me. Fuck y'all niggas, I'll shoot all you motherfuckers. Like that's how. So I reprogramming that. Everybody don't want to kill you, Tiffany, but you see 3 death threats and you think the world want to fucking murder you, right? Because I got that as a kid too. So it's like trying to reprogram and still be safe and still be based in reality. Like this is the real fucking world. It's dangerous out here. And so God didn't put me with that mother and put me through these experiences for nothing. There's a reason for it. And they have all paid off. All that bullshit has paid off in some kind of way, shape, or form. Like, man, I used to get so mad at God. Like, why'd you give me this mama? Why'd you give me this woman with this fucked up brain, this mean word? Why did you give me to her? Like, you could have gave me to anybody. Like, I thought you loved me, God. Like, why would you like let this person hurt me like this, right? Mm-hmm. Then cut 2 years later, I'm working on a set with somebody with the same injuries that she got, with the same issues that she got. And I know how to function in that when the average person would not know how to function in that. And I was able to bring that whole vibration up on that set. All these white people scared, everybody uncomfortable. I was able to balance it out and make it so it is kind of comfortable. It's kind of bearable, but they don't pay me enough money to do this shit every day.
Right.
So I can't subject myself to it every day, but I did but that is why I said, oh, this is why God put me with her.
Right.
Because look at what I'm dealing with right now. And it's a man with the same damage, the same issues, saying the same kind of stuff she used to say to me. And I was able to function in that and make that still awesome and make it one of the #1 shows still, even though it's a dangerous place. Yeah. That if I was a white woman, his show would have been canceled, period.
Yeah. That's, it's so interesting that you say that about the programming and all of that, because, I started stand-up in just kind of like people say, you should do stand-up, you're funny. And it wasn't like a dream of mine. I wasn't one of those people that was like, I'm gonna do stand-up when I grow up. It was like somebody said, you should do stand-up. I did it. And it was fun. But what I realized is that I would go on the stage and I would talk about all the bullshit that was going on in my life. That's how I always did it. So I talked about the toxic relationship I was in, how my boyfriend was cheating on me, how this was going on, how that was going on. It was all the negative shit I would bring to the stage. So then when I started to meditate and kind of get my life together and start, chanting and shit and really like finding balance, I was like, I don't have anything to talk about. So then I started creating shit, you know what I mean? Like drama in my life, essentially, so that I would have something to share. And I was in this constant creative, toxic cycle of trying to find something funny to talk about, because that's the only thing I can talk about is got to be negative. When I
but finally you're talking about you trying to get out of the negativity. That
is literally where I'm going. Years, but just this year, like after the pandemic, I was like, Kellye, all this fucking work you done did on yourself, bitch, that's funny. You don't have to fucking go up there and talk about the toxicity of shit. You can talk about how you escaped the toxicity of shit. You know what I mean? And talk about that. And it was so mind blowing to finally break that cycle that I had been in. Cause I want to be like, I'm going to be 40 next month. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I want the next 40 years of my life to be intentional on my terms. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in a loving household where my husband feels loved, not some one that feels like every other day he getting a petty comment or a slight or something where I'm shitting on him. Like, if I'm being honest, I am verbally abusive technically, if you think about it, like with the conversations that I have with not only just him, but my daughter. So it's like, I have to constantly be cognizant of that, because that's not my reality. That's habit from my childhood that I have said, oh, this is okay, but it's not okay because it doesn't feel good.
How does it feel?
Bad. Every time. Every time.
Yeah.
So oh God, Tiffany, I have so many questions. So you escaped, you got out of this marriage, and
you escaped like I was locked there.
You escaped out of this marriage. Because it was, but now I'm looking at you, you say you still deal with toxic relationships, you still deal with this stuff. You're very successful now. And since I've known you, you've been the kind of person that take care of your family, right? You're always taking care of people, giving people shit, doing for people. How has that toxicity shown up in your current life with family and people needing things?
The black tax is real. Black tax is a real thing. You get to a certain level of success and everybody think you're supposed to just give them money, like their hands out, like I need this, I need for that. And we had to have like a full discussion. And, some of the family members is like, cool with it. I understand. Like, and I can do it on my own, Tiffany. Don't worry. I'm gonna just reach out to you when I really need it. And I'm about that life. If they ask me for money, it's more so like, at first I used to give it. And then I realized you can't just give people money, because they become bitter and they feel like guilty, especially if they're like, I'm gonna pay you back. I'm gonna pay you back. And you don't even got to be saying like, when people be like, I'll pay you back. And you be like, okay, cool, pay me back. And I won't say nothing about it. I might drop a little joke here or there. Like, they be like, oh yeah, we going to lunch. Tiffany, you got this? I'll be like, well, is this? Well, no, I thought you were going to pay me back. I thought this was the way you're going to pay me back. Like, and they be like, oh, and they talking all this shit because they feel horrible inside, because they know they said they was going to do something and they didn't do it. And I think they think that your love for them will change because of that. And so then they try to like hurry up and make a fight with you or make you angry, so you stop talking to them so they don't got to pay you back. And I'm like, look, I had to be very clear with all of them. Like, you don't got to pay me back, but just you can never ask me for money again. You'll never be able to ask me for a dime ever again. Then that's a cuss out. Oh, you going to leave me struggling in the streets? You'll leave me in the streets? No, I wouldn't leave you in the streets, but I'll offer you a job. Not for me, not to work with me, but I'll get you a job with somebody, because I'm not going to have your toxic ass in my face every day. But I'll get you a job somewhere. So like I got an auntie, she was asking me for some money the other day. I was like, oh, I can't give you no money, but I know somebody who's hiring right now if you want to work. Oh, no, I'll figure it out. My little cousin. Hey, cousin, I need a job. Okay, here, call this person. And then they don't get the job. Then they're like, cousin, they wouldn't give me the job. So I need you to give me some money. No, I ain't giving you no money. I'll give you another number to somebody else to give you a job. Well, I already got a job. I just need more money. But work harder, work more hours. I'm not ever giving you another dollar, ever. Right. Even if you got arrested and I know you didn't do the shit, I'm not bailing your ass out. I'm not going to do it. I ain't going to do it. I'll start a GoFundMe page for you and you can owe them motherfuckers back, but I'm not going to give you a dime because I already gave you a bunch of money and you talk crazy to me. So that's how I handle that with the family.
Yeah, it set some boundaries.
Unconditional, whatever she wants, whatever she needs, that's unconditional. It doesn't matter. Like my grandmama. Oh, yeah, and my mama too. She gets unconditional too. So we be having fights. We not necessarily on the bed. We cool now. The therapy and everything, and I changed her diet. We changed her diet. This food really has a big effect on people. In the way they maneuver.
Absolutely.
And how they communicate and all that. I really think food really is something about the food, but I changed her diet. She's been a lot better. But if she want to square up, I'll fight her. But I'm gonna look out for it too. But I ain't finna let her punk me like she used to. You ain't gonna get to punk me no more. I'm a grown ass woman. You living under my roof. I bought that house.
I honestly love that about you because you still live in South Central, right? And I was actually talking to Alex about this. I said, I got to talk to her about the toxicity of the community because, like, I don't know how you do. Like, we just moved from an affluent north suburb back to the south side of Chicago. And I'm going fucking crazy. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be around these people. Like, these niggas is shooting and shit. I don't want to have no parts of it. I want to be able to walk to coffee shops and take long bike rides on the lake. So how are you dealing with the toxicity of your community? Like, do you feel yourself challenged in any way when having to?
I don't feel challenged because I think no, I don't. I mean, I still go on the east side too with the gangbangers and all that. I feel like, you attract certain things, right? Like shit's gonna happen regardless. And I think how you walk out the door is what the day is gonna be. Like I taught you, I get in the mirror before I leave out and I go, Tiffany Haddish, I love and approve of you. Tiffany Haddish, I love and approve of you. Tiffany Haddish, I love and approve of you. So when I leave out of here, that's what the world is giving me, right? I have to give it to myself first. And that's what the world is giving me. And I've noticed that in my community, the dynamic has changed. Like for sure, the demographic has changed. But people have evolved. These kids see me, they like, oh, Tiffany's doing it. Tiffany's still in the hood. Something about that makes them want to be different. They start carrying themselves a little bit different, because if my ass could do it, I couldn't read at 16. If my illiterate, ghetto ass wearing everything from the Sloss and Swap Meet ass can still be out here, I still go to the Sloss and Swap Meet. I just don't buy shit out of it. I mean, I buy certain things, but not like a full-on outfit no more. I might get my nails done
on a red carpet with a Sloss and Swap Meet outfit on.
Don't get it twisted because I have done it. I have done it.
I know.
I saw a special, and you were at your house, and you were planting in the backyard. Somebody was there, like you were showing them your house. I forget what.
Yeah, David Letterman. Yes, and then I took him over to the heart of the hood, and everybody's like, "Damn, you got David Letterman in this motherfucker!" Like, and they're like, "Yeah, my community, David Letterman's in our community." Like that's huge. That changes the mind frame of the demographic, right? When they see the person that they see on TV late night every night, and then they're like, and they're here with you, Tiffany. You brought this over here to us. Like there's a certain level of respect that happens, and they never know who I'm gonna bring. I bring all kind of people around. Right. We have a good fucking time, and we eat good, we laugh, we have fun in the park, all that. Like I'm not concerned about, because I know there's good people here. Maybe in bad situations, trying to survive, trying to figure out how to live. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why I'm opening this grocery store, creating a place for community where people learn how to fight in financial literacy, and we grow, right? And there's, when you grow as a community, it's a
See, you know what the difference, and not the difference, like Tiffany, that was your neighborhood, right?
I was just about to say that. I was just about
to say that. You feel comfortable there, right? Because you know the demographics, like you know how it is, right? I think Kellye is different for you because you didn't grow up.
I don't know these niggas
in that area, so I feel like you don't feel comfortable. You don't.
Well, go say hello, Kellye. Go fucking say hello.
I have said hello to everybody on the block except that one house. Except that one house.
I think that's fine.
Just go for a walk. If you see them, say hello. It's a hello goes a long way. Smile, Kellye. Kellye, go for a walk and smile. Just smile, Kellye. Look, smile. That smile is so fucking beautiful. It's so beautiful. Ain't nobody finna shoot you. Ain't shit gonna happen to you. That smile is a shield.
Let me tell you something. This one house, it's like 19 of them in this one house. And our dog got out the yard. I'm walking down the street yelling, Chico, Chico. Dude was like, oh, he over here. I go over there. The girl is like, I told you she was gonna come get that dog. Go in there and get Bam Bam. They didn't renamed my fucking dog. They took my fucking dog. Go in there and get Bam Bam. They didn't rename.
And he's never gonna take care of Bam Bam. You know, that's a positive thing.
You know your dog gonna be safe in the neighborhood. And did you say, hi, my name's Kellye. What's your name? Let's look out for each other. Whoop, whoop. I mean, the girl knew you was coming to get the dog. Right. So what's your name, girl? It's nice to meet you.
Like, okay. Tiff wins again. Maybe I'll say hi.
Stop being petty. Stop being judgmental and petty.
And that's, you know what? Straight up, that's what the fuck it is. It's judgmentalness. I know that about, like, when I'm doing certain stuff, I'm like, Kellye, you judging people. And that's because I'm always judging myself. So I'm having to like lessen that about me and being more graceful and kind with myself.
You've been through shit, so it's impossible not to judge because you've been through things. But then also, like, use your discernment. Yeah, okay, I'm on the guard, but let me be nice. And if they still act like pieces of shit, because I think they might be pieces of shit, then fuck them. But hi, excuse me, have you seen my dog? Oh, you know where you're at? Oh, great. What's your name? Nice to meet you, neighbor. And then if they act different, if they give you attitude, then you be like, okay, I see you.
Kellye, for you, is it only because you're judging, or is it because you want them to be better? Because I know, at least for me, it's hard sometimes when I see Latinos acting a hot ass mess, because I feel like it's a reflection of all of us. And I'd be like, come on, y'all. Like, why? Why do we have to be this way? Right? And for me, I get like all uncomfortable sometimes because I want us to do right because I know we're judged globally. So do you have any of that? Or is it you, like, you just like,
no, that ain't it. It ain't
pettiness. I got like a little.
I'm not gonna say, wait. I'm not gonna say I don't want them to do better.
No, of course you do.
I think the judgment comes from me not allowing myself to be that way anymore. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Like, I've assimilated, I've evolved, and so to be ghetto, if you will, or ratchet or any of the above, it's like not allowing myself to do that comfortably. So therefore, when I see other people doing it, I judge them for it. So I know exactly what the root is.
But what's wrong with being ratchet and ghetto?
Nothing. And then the crazy thing about it is I fucking love it. I fucking love it. Like, but I always find myself, and I think it has more to do with just us living in them suburbs for 5 years while the girls was in high school. You know, you have to act appropriate. I had to pick up my dog's shit. I had to do so many things where
you can do that even if you're not living in the suburbs. You need to pick up your damn dog. I can't stand it. I'll be walking and I see somebody walk in their dog shit and they don't pick up the shit. I'll be like, girl, you know you need to pick up that dog shit. Knock it on. That's not all the time. They be like, bitch, fuck you. I'll be like, fuck you with your nasty ass. Fuck you. I'll be like, yeah.
You should.
Pick up your dog shit. Otherwise, don't have a motherfucking dog.
But in the white neighborhoods, you double get judged if you don't pick up your dog shit as a colored person. You don't understand, as a person, a black person. And if I ain't got a bag or something like that, now I didn't not picked up my dog shit. Now I got to go upstairs, get a bag, and come back and search for this shit because this one lady was walking and she noticed me and I'm all in my head about it. And so it's just like living in the burbs really made me. And then I was at that point too of my life where I was starting to look inward and question a lot of things of who I was and what I believed. And then being around people that didn't look like me or weren't like me, it started to kind of make me feel like, oh, this is the way to be. I should be more like
that's going to happen to the white people that's moving over here?
You said what?
Do you think that's going to happen to the white people that's moving over here to South Central?
Well, yeah, they're going to be like, we got to change, bitch. Assimilate.
Be like, bitch, we barbecuing in the street today. You welcome to come through. We got the Henny. It's the rock, whatever you like, bitch. We got it.
My name Karen. My husband named Jim.
Okay, Rebecca. All right, Rebecca. I see you, Rebecca.
Oh my God.
You know, but I love that I've recognized it though. I do. I love that I see why I judge it.
But Kellye, you moving. So
no, you know what? Honestly, we're about to do the backyard. We've decided to redo the backyard.
Oh, okay.
So we might not be. We love the fucking house. We love the house. The house is beautiful.
You're gonna stay.
I love the house, but I do not like all the helicopters and the gunshots. Like, I am uncomfortable with that.
Well, just start manifesting that will change, because it will.
Yeah.
Just a little bit will change. I mean, it's changed in my neighborhood from when I first moved over here. But I'm going to tell you this, right? I've never seen no white people move somewhere and like, oh my God, we got to act this way now. They don't do that shit. Why do you think you got to do that shit?
That's so true.
No, that's a good point.
I ain't never heard a white person say, oh, I moved over here and now I got to act like this. Only black people and Mexican people say that. Asians don't say that.
I don't know. My husband, I don't know. I've seen my husband code switch a couple times.
That's probably because your ass code switch. If you wouldn't have code switch, you wouldn't have code switch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen like, Yes. White people don't do that. And so because they don't do it, I won't do it. I'm going to act the same way.
So true. Fact.
And you know what? And you know what else? You know what else? I don't hear us as minorities say we need to start saying more. Is I need to go find myself. You ain't never heard a black person say, I need to go find myself. Kellye, you one of the first black people I ever heard say, I got to figure out who I am. I got to find me, right? When white people say it, they go, I got to find myself. And they go off to Europe and backpack for a year and shit. And they come back and they're like, okay, I'm going to be a CEO of this. Like they come back and they know what they want to be, right? Like I got to search inward. Like people of color, we don't really do that. I think we need to start doing that shit and be like, fuck it, I'm going to Africa for a year. I'm going to motherfucking Panama. Did you know there's a lot of black people in Panama? I'm taking my ass to Brazil for you. Wherever there's a lot of black people, you Spanish, I need to find out what kind of, I need to get to my Spanish roots. I'm going to fucking Spain, going to Mexico, Guatemala, wherever the fuck. I'm out of here. Like these white people do. And then come back and then be who you are. And don't worry about what no motherfucking body think. Because these white folks ain't worried about what you think.
Absolutely.
They are not worried about it.
Absolutely.
You over here trying to simulate today whole program. Got you all fucking toxic and fucked up. Because you trying
to judging.
Right. Then you get back to your community and you're like, this is not good. You guys are. What the fuck? You know, you are, whatever the fuck it is. You want to eat quiche, bitch, eat quiche. Fuck it.
You want some quiche, girl?
You want some quiche? Veggie quiche, please. Thank you.
Right.
I have definitely seen the adjustment though of like living where I live now and noticing like when I'm code switching, it's very evident for me now. Like if I'm in a different space and I do it and I'm like, bitch, what is that?
See, but I have to do it at work all the time that it's such a part of my, like, and I could say I don't have to, but I do have to. Like being a therapist, downtown Chicago, and I love the organization that I work for, but the fact is, you know, a lot of the patients are white. And I was talking to, and Jenna might be watching, one of my coworkers who and Kellye, I've told you about this. A lot of times I have white patients and the first thing they do when they meet me is, what are your credentials? Where'd you go to school? And I'm like, I start like taking tabs on how many times I'm asked. And I'm like, okay, it can't be a young thing because I got a lot of colleagues that are even a few years younger than me. So it's not an age thing. I think it's definitely the Garcia thing. Like, okay, who is this Latina that's about to be treating me? And they have a reaction to that. And they think that the questions are not biased or racist or whatever, but they are, because no one else really on my team gets asked that question, and it drives me crazy. So I do have to code switch, and I'll go in group, laying the law with some DBT skills and some mindfulness. Like, I know what I'm talking about. And then when I have a Black or brown person in session, I could be like, hey girl, what's up? We gonna get you right. But I don't do that in group because I can't.
Yeah.
Anyway, code switching is
you better than me, because if they would have asked me on it, I'd give them the answer
I'm here for it. I'd be like,
4 years. I went to Harvard. I did this. I did that. Now, what kind of crazy is you? You are inbred.
What kind of crazy are you?
What happened? Did they steal your inheritance? Like, I'm an asshole, so I'm gonna be like, so did you fuck your sister? You fucked your brother? What happened? Because they stereotyping you for not being qualified, right?
But
I'm an asshole. This is where I'm an asshole.
I think especially when people are struggling, a lot of times, like when folks are depressed and anxious, they can be real irritable, and people could just be really nasty because they're struggling inside. So when people like come at me like that, I'm just going to kill you with kindness. What other any more questions? Like, and I truly mean it, because you know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to meet you there. Any questions that you have, comments, concerns, I'm here to answer them. And then sometimes I'll leave and go to, a colleague's office and vent for a little bit, but
I got a lot of therapists. I have never asked not near one, what school did you go to? How long have you been studying? The fact that you in this damn office.
I've never had a person of color ask me that. It's only been white patients.
Yeah, because they're not going to ask.
But
if they got that far where they in the office, they don't care. Shit.
Right. Yeah, as long as I see a license on the wall, I'm like, I'll be looking for the license. Bet. Right, all right, let me tell you all this shit.
I think a little bit what the reason for me personally, why I find myself kind of like in this space of, is this too much of me, if you will, because of the bipolar diagnosis. You see what I'm saying? So I always am in my head like, is this bipolar, bitch? Is you tripping? You know what I'm saying? If you do too much, you always got to ring it in enough where people don't feel like you're crazy, if you will.
I don't give a fuck. Be crazy. Shit. They be scared of you. They ain't gonna disrespect your ass. I let my bipolar fly whenever it need to. Hello? Wave that motherfucker flag, because they woo.
I think it's my job if I do that. I got to keep these lights on, girls. So
yeah. I mean, that's for you. You can't do it.
Yeah. I think she's telling me to be crazy.
Okay. I was like, I can't
we can let our crazy flag fly. I mean, the disrespect that you get in this Hollywood industry when you step into on a sound stage and you got to know these lines and know all this stuff, and then they talk to you like you just started yesterday. I've been doing this, young man. Like, but it's, and in the way that it's little things that they'll do to nitpick at you, and then then I have to just sometimes I gotta let my crazy flag fly right quick. Let them know I'm still
right.
I know that I'm the only one on this damn sound stage that's this color, but I'll fuck all y'all up. You don't know me. And then they're like, whoa. And I'm like, okay, guys, let's get to work. Let's get to work.
I got to let you go crazy real quick.
Actress. She's a phenomenal actress.
You are. Have they ever apologized for questions or credentials? No, they haven't, because I don't think they're aware of it. I think some of it is white privilege, and I don't think that they see that that's not okay. Not that you can ask them when their credentials, but it's their why of why they're doing it. So absolutely not. No one has ever apologized.
Yeah.
Do you ever ask them, like, have you ever had a Hispanic therapist before?
I have not. I've never done that. No.
Have you ever even had therapy before? Do you know how these sessions go?
Yeah. I've never.
How damaged are you?
Tiffany's gonna get her fired. She's gonna get fired. She started asking them damn questions.
You know what I do? I work so hard to help them that before they leave, they're like, "Wow, this was an amazing experience," and I'm like, "That's the best way I could show you."
Yeah, you better than me. I'm an asshole.
You're an entertainer too,
right?
So you got the space to be an asshole. I guess technically I do too.
Right.
Kellye,
Right.
get to
I mean, but I've asked Kellye, when Kellye asked me some crazy questions, I turn the question right back around on her, and she'll be like,
she does that all the time.
You know, I actually have some questions here for you that I want to ask, and then I'm going to open up the comments for people that want to ask you specific questions. I think this was a great conversation on toxic relationships.
Okay. I got 15 minutes before my next meeting, so.
Yep. One specific thing that I want to ask, and then we can get to the questions, is have you ever felt extremely insecure? And if you did, how did you handle it in that moment?
I have definitely felt extremely insecure, and I just stood in it. Just did the best that I could do at what I got. Because if I'm feeling insecure, that's on me, right? And usually it's because I didn't prepare enough, or I didn't do what needed to be done. Yeah, it's like I've gone to events and I ain't put no makeup on, and I get there and everybody has on makeup and they look all amazing and glamorous, and I'm just like, well, put on your best personality, or I don't have no jewelry on or that thing, And I used to beg my grandma for like big earrings like these and like necklaces, and she's like, no, let your personality be your jewelry. Or I'll be like, my clothes are ugly, I need better clothes. Let your personality be your better clothes. So like, just recently, I went to a premiere of a movie. They circulating these pictures all over the place. My wig was leaning to the side because I fell asleep in the car. My outfit's all wrinkled. My collar turned up because I took my purse off my shoulder. Like, I look a hot mess. And I knew I wasn't like the flyest on the carpet. I knew what I had on was expensive though, but I knew I wasn't the flyest. But I came for the theme of the movie, and I just let my personality, I was just like beaming, just like I was so happy to be there. I let my personality be the thing that's like, you can see it from my eyes. You can see it from my smile. Now my hair might be linked to the side, and my outfit might be a little bit off, and my pants might be a little wrinkled because I've been riding for 2 hours. But my personality came through, right? So it doesn't really matter that much. It matters. It fucking matters. But not as much as if I would have been standing there like with a stank face, like.
Yeah. Because that's going to show up bigger than anything. Yeah.
Right. But when you stand there and you let your persona, your essence shine through regardless, then it's good. But so like I would feel very insecure. I was feeling insecure that day. I came there, I was feeling insecure, but it's like, let my personality, let that shine come through. Like, you know who you are. Let that be the thing. And it worked. It seemed to have worked. Everybody was so happy. Everybody's like, Tiffany, and they talking to me. And I had seen reporters I hadn't seen in forever, in like a year and a half. And we laughing and talking. And we had a good time. In the interviews, I watched the interviews. They're great interviews, but I look crazy as fuck. I look crazy. But
no, I think that's a great tip. Leaning into the discomfort, right? I think when we're feeling anxious or insecure, we want to change it. And the more you try to change it, the worse it's probably going to get. But when you kind of settle in and like just check in with yourself for a second, you can like, all right, I'm back.
Just own it. Just be in it. Just be like, well, it is.
That's how manifestation works. You know what I'm saying? You create more of what you are thinking about, more of what you are focusing on, right. And so I know when I be like super anxious or in a certain place, I be like, bitch, let me go meditate. Let me take 5 minutes.
Like when you see like a fine ass dude and you be like, how he with this booger wolf? But she's just happy to be. She just happy to be. She like a full on, but like you like, she is oogly. But he loves her.
He fine as hell. I have seen that a time or two or three or
like,
four.
Hey, she don't care. She just herself.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes.
So what questions do folks have?
All right.
Tiffany gotta go. She got another meeting.
Yeah, she do. We have this one right here. I have fear of both positive and negative attention. So I try to stay in the background. What advice can you give me to overcome this type of anxiety? This is my cousin, actually, Kathy. She's a phenomenal fucking rapper and just a great performer in general.
Yeah, she's feeling all the anxiety because you just called it out as your cousin. Damn.
Well, that's an exposure. You got to lean into the distress, so you'll be all right.
She's more anxious because
lean in.
Lean in. I mean, Tiffany, and I want to hear what you, I think it's back to what you're saying. Like the more you avoid things, and this is just like clinical treatment for anxiety, the worse the anxiety is going to get. So do baby steps, but you got to lean into like, what am I afraid of right now? Am I afraid that I'm not the most qualified in the room or people are going to judge me? Like you can't avoid those situations because it will get worse.
Well, first of all, they need to figure out why do they have an issue with getting attention? Was that an issue growing up? Like when they got attention, was it constant hurt? Was it rejection? Was it like embarrassment? And if it was, realize that you're an adult now and you have some control over that. You have control over how you feel about things and you have control over how you present yourself, right? And it's like, if you know that you're giving your best and you're getting positive attention and it makes you uncomfortable, why? Why? What happened? What happened to you? That's my question.
All right.
Yeah, process that and lean in, because that positive attention is necessary. We need that. Now, the negative attention, I try to run away from my damn self, but it comes through regardless. It all comes through. So lean in and receive it. I wonder if they have an issue with receiving hugs and kisses and love.
Possibly. I know I definitely did for a long time.
I know you would never want to give a hug. I'd be like, give me a hug. You'd be like, girl, bye. Put your titties on my titties. Girl, I ain't got no titties. Give me a goddamn hug.
Faith is the one that kind of got me out of that, because Faith will hug you no matter what. My daughter is so lovey-dovey, huggy. Like that's just her. And she's always kind of been that way. And it's a beautiful thing to see her not have the same energy I have around not hugging. But that also comes from not hugging when I was a kid. Like I didn't have a lot of people that hugged me. It wasn't a thing, you know? So that.
But a good hug goes a long way, boy. 15 hugs a day, keep the psychiatrist away. That's what I say.
I know that's right.
No shade, Alexandra.
This is a good question. Have you ever compared yourself to other artists, and has it ever gotten in your way? Ever. So think back.
So yeah, because I would be like, yes, I'm funny as Lucille Ball, as physical as Jim Carrey, as sexy as Halle Berry. I'm gonna be as rich as Oprah Winfrey and award winning like Tom Hanks. That was like my manifest like dream. But compare myself. Nah, ain't nobody like me. Ain't nobody like me. And as much as I would like to compare myself to somebody, it would be a lie.
Yeah. I can actually co-sign that with Tiffany, because I've never really seen her. She just does her own thing.
Oh, that's a great question. How do you find yourself without the passport stamps? Do you see that? I think.
Oh, yeah, because where have you fucking been?
Or how do you find yourself internally without going anywhere externally?
I mean, a lot of times when people go places, they're actually running away. I agree with that. I think there's a few people that actually use that space to use it as like change internally. A lot of times we're just, I need a distraction. So even when people say that, not always true. I think it's a lot of what Kellye talks about why she started the show. It's like, one, there's so many different ways to acknowledge where you're at, process some of your past, make changes. What's not working for you right now? What do you need to call yourself on and make changes for? There's so much.
Look at what don't feel good. Like that's what really does it for me. It's like, if I do some shit and you're ruminating on it, you're thinking about it, it's bothering you, it didn't feel good. So when that opportunity presents itself again, don't do it again. You know what I mean? Like make better choices. Make better choices. And I had to realize that, even that's why you're here, right? Toxic relationships. I had to realize that about my inability to be happy for my friends that were succeeding. What does that felt fucking terrible. It did not feel good that I was that way. And I had to look at myself and start working through that. Does anybody have any final things to say to Tiff in these last couple minutes? I'm gonna put up my daddy's comment. Girl.
What did he say?
He was loving.
Old school pool boy with the
and he spelled my name wrong. How you gonna name me?
Love you too, Daddy. I wish I had a pool for you to clean. I don't have. I got a little wading pool.
I seen that pool. That little
blow,
pool
you can blow that pool up for me. You want to blow it up for me? Put some water in it. I'll let you clean that one.
Well, Tiffany, before you go, I think you're just your words about like being your best. Like, I think being your like number one fan goes back to everything that you said. Like, no one's like me. I'm unique, and like you're always in your own corner, and we all should try that. So,
you really should. It's not like being like what the Bible said, like don't be a lover of self, but you have to have self-love in order to love others, right? So like how you treat yourself is really how you gonna treat the rest of the world. So when I be seeing people that be really messed up, I be like, so dang, I know it's hard being in your body. I know it's hard. It's probably really difficult to be you. Because if this what you doing to other people, I can't even imagine what you saying and doing to yourself. Right? That's who you with most of the time. That's who you with 24/7. It's yourself. So if you don't like yourself, if you're not getting along with you ain't never it's gonna be a really hard, painful life.
Right.
So.
Absolutely.
I think that's a great final note right there. I think that's a great final note. I am so thankful for all the comments and everybody that tuned in. I am beyond thankful for Tiffany taking time out of her schedule to sit with me.
I love you, Kellye. I love you, love you, love you, love you.
I can't.
And you are kiss it. I love you. Oh, dang, that my thing cloud.
Now your thing's all sparkly.
all sparkly and shit from her lips. I can't.
Love you.
Thank you so much. I love you back.
Great to meet you,
Alex, you were amazing. I wanna take this time to really acknowledge our producers that were putting the comments and everything up. Big ups to Wendy Mateo and Lisa Beasley. They were handling shit on the back end as always. My mom said, great show.
Hey,
mama. My mama. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I want you guys to tune in next week. We'll have the amazing Fatima Talia. She's another comedian and actress, writer, and we will be talking about toxic neighborhoods and how that fucks with your mental health. Because me and her are both from Harvey.
Hey, talk about it.
All right, y'all. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. She out. That's it.